Hey guys, it's Troy here, and you know, it dawned on me I haven't really done a pen mail video in a little while. So I've got some stuff that I've purchased over the past several weeks to a month or so that I just haven't really shown you guys yet. So let me bring some of them out. You know, I'm a Waterman fan, so if you watch this channel, you know that I kind of like Waterman. I found someone trying to sell this bottle of ink, and I was like the only bidder on it, so I got it pretty doggone cheap. But it's the old Waterman Blue, the washable Waterman Blue. And it's in an old bottle like this. It's still, you know, about maybe 70% still full. Old beat-up box. I wasn't so concerned about the box. But, you know, old Waterman Blue ink, you know, I'll give it a try. I'm not worried about trying something that's that old, but look at the size and the shape of this bottle. They haven't really changed a whole lot to modern day inks put out by Waterman. And that really interested me because, you know, I've actually got some old Waterman CF cartridges that have Waterman washable blue that used to be in them. So I figured I'd pick this up, and 10 bucks all total shipped to my door. I think I was like $5.99 or $6 for the bid and $4 for shipping. And here we go. Also, I ordered some ink as well as a pen from The Pen Thing up in New Jersey. In all full disclosure, I've known Brian for a little while, who owns The Pen Thing, and we have spent some time together at the DC Pen Show. We actually write back and forth, and so I decided I was going to buy from him. So I picked up this. This is actually from Colorverse. I have got some samples of the Schrodinger in cat. For those of you who are science nerds, Schrodinger's cat. Maybe you just watched The Big Bang Theory and know Schrodinger's cat. So here you go. I decided I wanted to go ahead and just get the whole bottle of each, especially the cat. And so I went ahead and ordered this from The Pen Thing. Colorverse does a nice job with their packaging and their marketing. So you've got stuff like that. Now, this is not this season's colors. I think this is like from last year. But I went ahead and decided, well, if it's still available, I'll go ahead and order it. And they were. Interesting bottles. You know, Schrodinger being the green and the cat being blue. I guarantee you're going to see a writing sample of this blue here shortly from me. I'll be honest with you, I wish the two colors were swapped around. I would rather the bigger bottle be the blue and the smaller bottle being the green, but that's not how Colorverse came out with it. But Colorverse does fairly decent. They're not the cheapest of inks, though, which is why a lot of people don't necessarily buy them, but you do normally get 2 bottles when you buy a box of Colorverse ink. So Brian was able to actually get this from his distributor. They still had it available, so I said, you know what, Schrodinger and cat, let's get me those. And Brian was also having a sale to clear out some of his old Diamine bottles, and these are the only ones that he had left that I really wanted. I had a whole list of inks that I would want from Diamine, but since he's trying to clear out old stock, the Matador and the Prussian Blue were 2 that I had that were of interest to me, so he sent me those. And Brian was actually nice enough to chuck in one of these things from The Pen Thing, an ink swatch plot log. So if you want to log all of your inks and your ink swatches, then you've got a log to be able to do that. So I haven't really done anything like that yet. You know, I've got some of the cards to do ink swatches on for a couple of years now. I've been keeping a log of all the different inks that I've been using. So that's something I hadn't done yet. All right, let's throw this one out. The Curidas from Platinum. This is one that I've been wanting for a while, and I had to wait quite a while for it. I'm not going to talk about this a whole lot because I'm going to do an entire video on this very pen that you will see shortly. But it is a retractable pen. I decided to go for the blue and a medium nib. So it took me a while to be able to get that combination in stock from Brian at The Pen Thing. I'll talk more about that though when I go to do the full video and present it to you on a full review of the video of the Curidas. Okay, so that is up and coming. Be watching for that. I'm going to set that aside. All right, another pen that I picked up from AntiqueDigger.com. was this one right here. This is a Wahl-Eversharp from 1927 or so. The reason I can plan it around 1927, look at it and say, okay, it's probably from that time period, is that's the first year that Wahl-Eversharp introduced the coral red. I think along with a lapis blue and a jade green. 1927 was the first year that they introduced all three of those colors in their celluloid. So here we go, a beautiful coral red celluloid. When I saw this, I gave other people the chance to buy it before I did, but they didn't. So I went ahead and picked that up. So let me give you a quick writing sample of these two since I've got them out. But this is my 1927 in my coral red. This is a Wahl-Eversharp. Okay, it is a ring top lever filler. This particular ink happens to be a Birmingham Pens Mount Washington Sunset. And having grown up in the state where you find Mount Washington, I have been there. So anyway, here you go. I meant to actually do a whole video on this particular pen. I just hadn't gotten to it, but because it is just an absolutely gorgeous pen, a pretty good writer. Let me give you a real quick Curidas writing. So this is a Curidas, and this is from Platinum. And this is where I get into that Colorverse blue. Good, reliable writer. I just scribble there. Alright, so moving along, because I want to make this a fairly short video because I got a lot of other stuff to do. Lastly, I want to introduce to you this particular pen here. Centropen. It is a Czechoslovakian pen made between 1965 and 1970 or so. And I had to wait for over a month for this to get shipped to me. This came to me from, I believe, Bulgaria. I don't mind buying from the Baltic states and all because, quite honestly, their pen sellers actually tend to be fairly honest. It just takes a while for it to show up. And quite honestly, one of the reasons why they want to fulfill the order is they don't want to have to refund it because, quite honestly, American dollars go pretty far there. So for the $50 that this particular pen costs plus $10 shipping, total is $60. That goes a lot further over there than it does over here. So, but in Bulgaria, they have a decent selection of European fountain pens. And this Centropen 10016, as it says right there, I may or may not do a full video on this. I will tell you that this happens to be my favorite Centropen thus far. I've got 3 or 4 of them, but the Centropen 10016 happens to be a pretty good pen. It's definitely the smoothest of all Centropens that I have. I put into this some Diamine Ancient Copper, and you will get a little bit of variation on this old iridium tipped steel nib. And one of the things true to form of the Czech Republic is that they tend to use a converter that is permanently mounted into that pen. So in effect it is a piston filler, but it acts kind of like a converter instead. Anyway, this beautiful brown and black swirl celluloid. Got some really nice highlights in it, pretty pen, and actually a pretty doggone good writer. So I was actually looking forward to this one, and it finally showed up just today. Like I said, been tracking it from Bulgaria for a while, going, oh, when's it going to show up? When's it going to show up? And finally, it hit the United States, and then I tracked it all the way down to out for delivery today. Yay! So, got some pretty doggone beautiful pens here in my pen mail. Some pretty good inks that I'm quite happy with. Some vintage ink that I'm also hopefully going to be very happy with, since I don't think I've ever actually written with the washable ink itself, since they haven't made that in quite a while, and a couple of bottles of Diamine thrown in. Oh, there they are right there. So this is my pen mail. So maybe some ideas for your collection, and I guarantee you'll be seeing more of this pen here really soon. Maybe this one, and maybe even this one. I don't know. It depends on how I feel. Hey, that's pen mail. Thanks for watching. Bye.